There are plenty of legends to choose from in Apex Legends Mobile. All the legends are actually really good, so don't be afraid to pick any. Let's get one thing straight first and foremost. This video is not a tier list of any kind. All the legends have pros and cons, and ultimately it's down to you as the player to make the best use of whoever you pick. The first thing that you need to consider before you start picking is playstyle. A lot of guys will tell you, find one that matches your playstyle. However, I have a bit of a slightly different approach to that. I'm someone who likes to tell people to get out of their comfort zone, right? So I would tell you, yo, try something new. And with that in mind, rather than asking you what's your playstyle, I'll ask you, what playstyle do you actually want to start playing in? Because you might want to stick with your playstyle or try something completely different. And once you figure that out, here are some categories for you to consider. But please note though, just because I put a specific legend in a specific category, this does not mean that that is the only way to play these legends. But here are some core foundation categories. Alright, so for the aggressive players, I like to call this category the boom boom pow category. This category is for the type of players that just have an addiction for finding gunfights constantly. As an aggressive player, always in gunfights, always pushing, here are some of the fundamental things that you need to think about. Abilities that have direct impact to your entry and exit routes, as well as general movement capabilities. Let's take a look at our buddy Octane here, for example. His tactical ability called Stim provides him with a 30% movement speed boost for a few seconds at a cost of his health. Absolutely fantastic for closing the gap and pushing enemies, makes him a hard target to hit, and it will also help him get away from danger if a push fails. Then we've got his ultimate, the launch pad. This ultimate ability allows him and his teammates to travel and push together, gain higher ground, or escape together to safety. Then we have the good old Bloodhound. Bloodhound's passive ability allows Bloodhound to see enemy activities in real time to prepare for battle. Then we have Bloodhound's tactical ability where Bloodhound can scan an area and see where the enemy threats are before even pushing. Then we have the ultimate, Beast of the Hunt. Due to the 30% movement speed boost that Bloodhound gets from this ultimate is absolutely insane for chasing down runners. On top of that, because of the speed boost, this also makes Bloodhound an incredibly hard target to track and hit. Then we have the support and passive category. This is a category for players that prefer to stay back. You know, the healers, the protectors, that kind of thing. Basically, the last person standing in a squad and the person who is mainly responsible for keeping everyone alive and healthy. Let's talk about Lifeline. Lifeline's tactical ability can heal up to 2 players simultaneously over time if they stand close enough to it. Lifeline's passive ability allows Lifeline to use her drone as a revival drone, which means she can send out her drone and revive 2 teammates simultaneously. Yup, the drone literally does the reviving for her. And not only this, whenever she deploys a drone, an impenetrable shield gets deployed in front of her teammate to protect them from any damage. And last but not the least, Lifeline's ultimate ability allows her to call down a drop pod that will contain amazing survival items for her and her teammates. Then we have Gibraltar, the ultimate protector. Gibraltar's #1 goal is to provide cover for him and his teammates. His passive ability, Gun Shield. This ability alone turns Gibraltar into an actual shield himself. Then his tactical ability, Dome of Protection, is a portable cover that he can carry and deploy whenever he wants, which offers an absolute impenetrable defense against bullets, missiles, and throwables. The only 2 things that can actually penetrate this dome shield are players walking in and out of it or the ring damage. Then we have his ultimate ability where you can call down an airstrike. This ability is absolutely fantastic for splitting up enemy squads or forcing enemies out of their high ground advantage. Now we have the team leaders. These are basically players that call the shots. These are players that will dictate entry as well as exit points, rotation routes, gunfight strategy, and everything else. So these people need to be very self-sufficient. And with that in mind, they need legends who are also self-sufficient. Starting off with our homegirl Wraith. Wraith makes an absolutely fantastic leader of a legend. First of all, her passive ability makes Wraith speak out loud of any danger ahead. Wraith would literally speak out loud and say,
"You're in view of the enemy.
I have a feeling someone's watching us."
Wraith's tactical ability turns her into nothing but a stream of light. She gets a 30% movement speed boost and her hitbox completely disappears, which means she becomes almost invisible and becomes fully indestructible. And to top this all off, well-placed portals from her ultimate ability can help secure top place with her entire team next to her. Then we have our boy Crypto. Crypto has one of the best ways to gather information in the entire game. With Crypto's drone, you can fly around and see everything from up above. You can fully prepare for a fight or an escape better than any legend in the game. As a leader, you don't always have to be at the front. In fact, a lot of the times, leaders stay behind the front lines. They are the brains of the squad after all. Then we have his ultimate ability, Drone EMP. The main purpose of this ultimate ability is to use the drone and damage enemy shields in a massive area of effect. This ability allows him to do shield damage as well as disorient enemies before a push, gaining a huge advantage versus enemies who now have damage or broken shields. And check this out. Crypto's drone constantly scans everything around it within a 30-meter range. Now, as for his passive passive ability, any high-value items as well as enemies that are scanned by the drone are constantly highlighted in real time so you can see them even if there's a wall in front of you or whatever else is blocking the vision. And last but not the least for the categories, strategists, also known as the thinkers. These are players that like to control the fights, mind plays, high IQ plays. Not so much pushers, but actual players who like to pull people into traps. Let's start off with our boy Caustic. Well-placed traps can completely control fights. They deal direct damage to the enemy HP and slows anyone down that gets caught inside the gas. As if it's not already hard to see while you're inside the gas, you're also slowed and you're dying slowly. Then we have his ultimate. His ultimate ability is the biggest party pooper in Apex Legends Mobile. This thing can ruin someone's day in a blink of an eye. Yup, it has the power to completely and instantly turn gunfights around to your favor. Alright, time for Wattson, the defense queen. Defense queen? Get it? Woohoo! Anywho, Wattson's electric fences can keep enemies out and away, which means you can funnel them towards a specific route where you and your teammates can wait and carry out an ambush. Interception Pylon, Wattson's ultimate ability. This thing destroys every type of ordnance that comes close to it. Missiles, bombs, thermites, everything. Pair this up with Wattson's electric fences, people are gonna have a hard time infiltrating your fort. And the last but most important tip for you guys, learn about all the legends right now, starting with this banger Bangalore guide.